Are you over 80 or caring for someone who is? What if I told you there are 7 harsh realities about aging after 80 that most families never discuss openly, but could dramatically change how you prepare for this stage of life? Today, I'm going to reveal the uncomfortable truths that medical professionals see daily, but rarely share publicly. By the end of this video, you'll understand exactly what to expect, and more importantly, how to face these challenges with dignity and preparation. Stay with me because reality number 4 will completely change how you view aging after 80. Last month, I met Helen, an 84-year-old woman who told me something that stuck with me forever. She said, "I wish someone had warned me about what really happens after 80. Everyone talks about wisdom and experience, but nobody prepared me for the daily struggles I face now." Her honest words inspired me to create this video, because the truth about aging after 80 deserves to be discussed openly and without fear. Reality 1. Your social circle will shrink dramatically. Did you know that after 80, most people lose approximately 70% of their social connections? This isn't just a sad statistic. It's a medical emergency that affects your physical and mental health in ways you might not expect. According to research published by Harvard Medical School, seniors over 80 experience what psychologists call social network compression. This happens because friends pass away, family members become busy with their own lives, and mobility issues make maintaining relationships increasingly difficult. The loneliness that follows isn't just emotionally painful, it's medically dangerous. The consequences of social isolation after 80 are more severe than most people realize. Studies from the Mayo Clinic show that severe loneliness increases your risk of depression by 40% and accelerates cognitive decline by 25%. Your immune system weakens when you're socially isolated, making you more susceptible to infections and illnesses. Even your heart suffers, as isolated seniors have a 29% higher risk of heart disease and a 32% higher risk of stroke. This isn't just about feeling sad. It's about your survival and quality of life during your most vulnerable years. The practical solution requires immediate action and can't wait until you're already feeling isolated. Create multiple layers of social connection starting today. Join senior centers in your community. Maintain regular contact with neighbors even if it's just a daily wave or brief conversation. And most importantly, nurture relationships with people of different ages. Volunteer at local schools or libraries where you'll interact with younger generations who can bring fresh energy to your life. Consider adopting a pet if your living situation allows it, as pets provide companionship and give you a reason to maintain daily routines. Benjamin, an 82-year-old retired teacher, joined a community book club and now has friends ranging from 35 to 88 years old. He says this diversity protects him from the inevitable losses that come with age and keeps his mind sharp through stimulating conversations. Don't wait until tomorrow to strengthen your social connections. Reach out to someone today and start building the network that will sustain you through your 80s and beyond. Reality 2. Your body will require constant daily maintenance. Are you prepared for the reality that after 80, your body becomes like a vintage car that needs daily attention and specialized care? This isn't about accepting decline. It's about understanding that successful aging requires active management of multiple health conditions simultaneously. The Mayo Clinic reports that people over 80 typically manage an average of 3 to 4 chronic conditions at the same time. These might include arthritis, heart conditions, diabetes, high blood pressure, or vision problems. What many don't realize is that managing these conditions becomes essentially a part-time job that requires organization, vigilance, and consistent daily effort. The challenge isn't just having multiple health conditions, it's the way they interact with each other and complicate your daily life. For example, arthritis medications might affect your blood pressure, while diabetes management requires careful timing with heart medications. Vision problems make it harder to read medication labels correctly, and balance issues increase your fall risk when you're already dealing with bone density problems. If you don't stay proactive about coordinating your healthcare, small problems quickly cascade into major crises that can rob you of independence and land you in the hospital. The key to managing this complex health landscape is establishing what doctors call health maintenance systems. This means scheduling regular checkups every 3 months instead of waiting for problems to develop, organizing your medications in daily pill containers to avoid dangerous mistakes, and keeping detailed health records that track your symptoms, medications, and how you feel each day. You also need to establish relationships with specialists who understand the unique challenges of treating patients over 80, and you must become comfortable advocating for yourself in medical settings. Catherine, an 83-year-old former nurse, keeps a simple daily health journal where she records her blood pressure, weight, medications taken, and any symptoms or concerns. This detailed record helped her doctor identify a dangerous drug interaction that could have caused a stroke, potentially saving her life. Start building your health maintenance system this week because your future independence depends on the habits you establish today. Reality 3. Financial resources will be stretched beyond what you planned. Have you honestly calculated how much money you'll actually need after 80, including all the hidden costs that financial planners rarely discuss in detail? This is where many well-prepared seniors get blindsided by expenses they never anticipated. According to financial experts at Johns Hopkins, healthcare costs alone increase by an average of 300% for people over 80 compared to those in their 60s and early 70s. This dramatic increase includes not just obvious medical bills and prescription costs, but also home modifications for safety, specialized transportation when you can no longer drive safely, potential live-in care assistance, and medical equipment that insurance doesn't fully cover. The financial reality becomes even more challenging when you consider that your expenses are increasing just as your ability to earn additional income disappears completely. Many families discover too late that retirement savings, which seemed more than adequate at age 65, become insufficient by age 85. Professional home care can cost $25 to $35 per hour, assisted living facilities average $4,500 per month, and specialized medical equipment or home modifications can cost thousands of dollars that must be paid immediately. If you don't address this financial reality while you still have time to make adjustments, you could face devastating choices between receiving proper care and preserving your family's inheritance. You might be forced to move from your home before you're emotionally ready, or worse, you might have to rely entirely on family members who aren't financially prepared to support your increased needs. This creates stress and guilt for everyone involved and can damage family relationships at the very time when you need family support the most. The solution requires immediate and honest financial planning that looks beyond typical retirement advice. Schedule a meeting with a financial advisor who specializes specifically in senior care costs and has experience with clients over 80. Investigate long-term care insurance options now, while you're still healthy enough to qualify for coverage. Consider downsizing your living situation before you're forced to do so under crisis conditions, as this gives you more control over the process and better financial outcomes. Marcus, an 81-year-old retired engineer, sold his large family home at age 76 and moved to a smaller, more manageable condominium in a senior-friendly community. The money from the sale now covers his increased healthcare and assistance costs without creating financial stress for his children. Take action this month to review your financial situation with someone who truly understands the costs of aging after 80. Reality 4. You will lose more independence than you expect. This is the reality that shocks most people and the one that families find hardest to discuss, honestly. After 80, independence isn't lost all at once in a dramatic health crisis. It disappears gradually, one small freedom at a time, often so slowly that you don't notice until significant independence is already gone. Research from the National Institute on Aging reveals that 85% of people over 80 require some form of daily assistance, whether it's help with shopping, transportation, medication management, meal preparation, housekeeping, or basic personal care tasks. The psychological impact of this gradual loss of independence can be more devastating than actual physical health problems. The process typically begins with small concessions that seem temporary or minor. Maybe you stop driving at night because your vision isn't as sharp as it used to be. Then you stop driving in bad weather, then on busy highways, and eventually you stop driving altogether. Maybe you start asking neighbors to help with heavy grocery bags. Then you need help with all your shopping. Then you need help with meal preparation. Each step seems reasonable and temporary, but collectively they represent a fundamental change in how you live your daily life and how much control you have over your own decisions. Many seniors report feeling like they're becoming a burden on their families, even when family members are happy to help. This feeling of being a burden can lead to depression, social withdrawal, and reluctance to ask for help even when it's genuinely needed. Some seniors become so focused on maintaining independence that they make dangerous choices, like continuing to drive when it's no longer safe, or refusing assistance with tasks that put them at risk for falls or injuries. The practical approach is to plan your independence transition gradually and intentionally, rather than having it forced upon you by a crisis. Start accepting help with small, non-essential tasks now, even while you can still do them yourself. This helps you get comfortable with receiving assistance and helps your family understand your preferences and boundaries. Research home care options, meal delivery services, and transportation alternatives in your community before you need them urgently. Vivian, an 84-year-old retired librarian, hired a part-time helper for grocery shopping and heavy house cleaning 2 years ago, but she maintained complete control over her daily schedule, social activities, and personal decisions. She says this balance allows her to feel independent and in control, while getting the practical support she needs to stay safe and healthy. Begin planning your independence transition today, because maintaining dignity and choice requires preparation, not just hope. Reality 5, your family dynamics will change in unexpected ways. Are you prepared for how your relationships with adult children, grandchildren, and other family members will shift dramatically after you turn 80? This is an aspect of aging that catches many families completely off guard, creating tension and misunderstandings just when family support becomes most crucial. Family therapists specializing in geriatric issues report that over 60% of families experience significant relationship changes when a family member reaches 80. Adult children often struggle with role reversal, suddenly finding themselves making decisions for parents who have always been the decision makers in the family. These relationship changes aren't anyone's fault, but they're real and can be emotionally painful if families don't acknowledge them openly and work together to navigate the transitions. Adult children may become overprotective, wanting to make decisions for your own good without fully consulting you about your preferences. They might worry constantly about your safety and try to restrict activities that you still enjoy and consider safe. On the other hand, some adult children may be in denial about your changing needs and fail to offer help when you genuinely need assistance. The emotional complexity increases when family members disagree about your care needs or capabilities. One adult child might think you need more help, while another insists you're fine and shouldn't be babied. These disagreements can create family conflicts that add stress to your life and make it harder to get the support you actually need. Without honest family communication and clear boundaries, these relationship changes can lead to guilt, resentment, hurt feelings, and emotional distance at precisely the time when family support and connection are most important for your health and happiness. The solution is proactive family conversations that happen regularly, not just during crises. Schedule monthly family meetings or phone calls where everyone can openly discuss concerns, expectations, and plans for the future. Be completely clear about your wishes and preferences while you're still able to communicate them clearly and make your own decisions. Gerald, an 82-year-old retired mechanic, holds monthly family dinners where everyone discusses concerns about his aging openly and honestly. His son, David, says these conversations have eliminated guesswork about his father's needs and preferences, bringing the family closer together instead of creating the tension that many families experience. Schedule a family conversation this week to address relationship changes before they become sources of conflict and misunderstanding. Reality 6. Mental sharpness requires daily effort to maintain. Do you understand that after 80, maintaining mental clarity and cognitive sharpness isn't automatic or guaranteed? It requires the same dedicated daily attention and effort that physical exercise requires for maintaining muscle strength. This is a critical reality that many seniors don't fully grasp until they begin noticing changes in their memory, focus, or decision-making abilities. Neurologists and geriatric psychiatrists at Johns Hopkins confirm that significant cognitive decline after 80 isn't inevitable, but preventing it requires active, intentional effort and specific daily practices that challenge your brain and keep neural pathways functioning optimally. The brain needs constant stimulation, meaningful social interaction, and regular mental challenges to stay sharp and function at its best capacity. Many people mistakenly believe that forgetting names, losing focus during conversations, or having difficulty learning new information is simply normal aging that must be accepted passively. However, extensive research shows that much of what people consider normal cognitive decline is actually preventable with proper mental exercise, social engagement, and lifestyle choices that support brain health throughout your 80s and beyond. The consequences of not actively maintaining your mental sharpness extend far beyond simple forgetfulness or occasional confusion. Cognitive decline affects your ability to make important decisions about your own healthcare, finances, and living arrangements. It can make you vulnerable to scams and financial exploitation. It impacts your independence and may accelerate the need for supervised care or family intervention in your daily life. Most importantly, cognitive decline affects your sense of identity and can lead to depression, anxiety, and social withdrawal. The practical solution is creating and following a daily mental fitness routine that's as consistent and important as taking your medications or eating healthy meals. Read challenging material that requires concentration and critical thinking, not just light entertainment or familiar topics. Engage in complex conversations with people of different ages and backgrounds who can introduce you to new ideas and perspectives. Learn new skills that challenge your brain to form new neural connections, whether that's using technology, studying a foreign language, or mastering a craft or hobby you've never tried before. Phyllis, an 85-year-old former teacher, spends 45 minutes each morning doing challenging crossword puzzles and reads one non-fiction book every 2 weeks. She also volunteers as a literacy tutor for adult learners, which keeps her mentally engaged while helping others improve their reading skills. Start your mental fitness routine tomorrow morning, because consistency over time is more important than intensity, and your cognitive independence depends on the mental habits you establish and maintain every single day. Reality 7. You must advocate for yourself more fiercely than ever. Here's the harsh truth that nobody wants to discuss openly, but that you absolutely must understand and prepare for. After 80, some people will treat you as invisible, incompetent, or less worthy of respect and attention, and you must be prepared to advocate strongly for yourself, to receive proper treatment and maintain your dignity. This isn't universal, and many people will treat you with appropriate respect, but age discrimination and dismissive attitudes towards seniors are common enough that you must develop strategies to protect yourself and ensure that your voice is heard and your preferences are respected. Medical researchers and patient advocates at the Mayo Clinic have extensively documented that seniors over 80 often receive substandard medical care compared to younger patients. Healthcare providers may spend less time listening to your concerns, may attribute symptoms to normal aging without proper investigation, or may make treatment decisions without fully explaining options and alternatives. In other settings, service providers may speak to your adult children instead of directly to you, assume you can't understand complex information, or dismiss your complaints and preferences as unreasonable or unimportant. Family members, despite their good intentions, might begin making decisions for your own good without consulting you or considering your actual wishes and values. Well-meaning adult children may override your preferences about where you live, how you spend your time, or what risks you're willing to accept in order to maintain your independence and quality of life. If you don't learn to advocate strongly and effectively for yourself, you risk losing control over medical decisions, financial choices, living arrangements, and daily activities that determine your quality of life and personal dignity. The solution is developing what psychologists and patient advocates call assertive aging skills that help you maintain respect and control even when others try to diminish your voice or authority. Prepare written lists of questions and concerns before medical appointments, and don't leave until all your questions have been answered clearly and completely. Bring a trusted advocate with you to important appointments if needed, but make sure they understand that they're there to support you, not to speak for you. Clearly communicate your preferences, values, and boundaries to family members and healthcare providers, and don't accept treatment or decisions that feel dismissive, disrespectful, or inconsistent with your values and goals. Howard, an 81-year-old retired businessman, always brings a prepared list of questions to medical appointments and isn't afraid to ask for second opinions when he feels his concerns aren't being addressed adequately. He says this assertive approach has resulted in better medical care, more respectful treatment from healthcare providers, and greater confidence in the medical decisions that affect his health and independence. Practice advocating for yourself starting immediately, because your voice, your preferences, and your dignity matter more than ever after 80. These 7 realities about aging after 80 aren't meant to frighten you, but to prepare you realistically for what lies ahead so you can face these challenges with confidence and dignity. The difference between seniors who thrive after 80 and those who merely survive often comes down to honest preparation, realistic expectations, and proactive planning. Remember that social connections require intentional effort, health management becomes a daily priority, financial planning must account for increased costs, independence transitions gradually, family relationships evolve and need open communication, mental sharpness requires active maintenance, and effective self-advocacy becomes essential for maintaining respect and proper treatment. If this video helped you understand what to realistically expect after 80 and how to prepare for these challenges, please give it a thumbs up and share it with other seniors or adult children who need this honest perspective. In the comments, tell me which of these realities surprised you most, or share your own experiences with aging after 80. because your insights could help other viewers prepare more effectively for their own aging journey.